Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We have a fascinating stack of sources to get through today, and honestly, this one hits pretty close to home.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We're tackling a problem that I think everyone struggles with, but nobody really admits to. It's that weird, frustrating gap between knowing good English-like, textbook-perfect grammar and mastering great English.
It's the uncanny valley of communication.
Yes.
You can have a vocabulary of, 10,000 words, but if you don't know the social strategy behind them, you still feel like an outsider looking in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's that feeling where you say something that's technically correct, but the room just goes quiet. You just miss the vibe.
Mm-hmm.
So the sources we have today are essentially a masterclass in high-context communication. We're looking at a curated collection of these batches, idioms, phrasal verbs, professional shorthand that are all designed to smooth over social friction.
Social friction is the key term here. The argument these sources make is that language isn't just about, transferring information.
Right.
It's about relationship management. It's about not crashing and burning when you have to deliver bad news or ask for a massive favor.
Totally. So our mission today is to decode the strategy behind these phrases. We aren't just defining them. That's what a dictionary is for. We want to understand the why.
The subtext.
The subtext. Why does a CEO choose to say, "Can I get back to you?" instead of just, or why "I'm on top of it" lands so differently than "I'm doing it"?
It's a huge difference. And because there's so much gold in this material, we've organized these phrases into 4 main survival kits to help us navigate the professional wilderness.
Okay.
We've got the time architect, the diplomat, the go-getter, and finally the human element.
I love those categories. It feels like a progression from managing your schedule to, managing your soul. Let's jump right in with the first kit, the time architect.
Let's do it.
This section really stood out to me because time is this invisible thing, yet we use all these physical spatial metaphors to push it around.
We treat time like furniture. We move it, we save it, we spend it.
And the one that trips everyone up, I've seen this cause actual chaos in email threads, is moving meetings.
Oh boy.
Specifically, the difference between moving it up and moving it back.
Yes. The classic physics problem of the corporate world.
So let's unpack this. If I send you a message saying, "Hey, can we move the meeting up?" and you show up 2 hours later than scheduled, we have a disaster.
A total disaster. And it stems from how you visualize time in your head. There are 2 main ways people see it.
Okay.
If you see time as a river flowing towards you, then moving the meeting up means grabbing that event and pulling it closer to the present. So earlier, 2 p.m. becomes 1 p.m.
Okay, that makes sense. But what if I see time as a road I'm walking along, like I'm moving forward through the week?
Well, if you view it that way, then up can feel like further along the road, which would be later.
Yeah.
But, and this is the crucial takeaway from the source material in standard business English, the river metaphor wins.
Always.
Move up always means earlier. Move back means pushing it away, further into the future.
So move back gives you more time to prepare.
Correct. You're pushing the deadline away from you. It's a subtle distinction, but if you get it wrong, you're the person sitting alone in a Zoom room wondering why nobody likes you.
Which is my nightmare. Now, sticking with the flow of time, there's a phrase here that the sources identify as critical for project management. Let's pick up where we left off.
That phrase is a bridge. Think about a multi-day workshop or a long project. If you walk in on day 2 and just say, "Okay, let's start," you are psychologically hitting the reset button.
It's like you're discounting.
It feels like day 1 all over again.
Right. It discounts all the hard work we did yesterday.
Exactly. But saying, "Let's pick up where we left off," honors the history. It connects the past effort to the present task. You even see this in leadership transitions.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, if a new manager comes in and says, "I will pick up where she left off," it signals stability. It tells the team, "Don't panic, there are no radical changes, we're continuing the mission."
It's smoother. And speaking of smooth, let's talk about buying time. This is for when you're in the hot seat. Someone asks you a specific data question, your mind goes blank, and you don't want to look incompetent. The amateur move is to lie or guess. The pro move, according to our sources, is, "Can I get back to you on that?"
It is the professional savior. It transforms ignorance into diligence. You aren't saying, "I don't know," which sounds weak.
Right.
You're saying, "I care enough about accuracy that I want to verify this before I speak."
But you can't just leave it hanging there, can you?
Yeah.
You need to pair it with something to make it land.
Right. The sources suggest pairing it with, "I'll make a note of it." That is the key interaction. By saying, "I'll make a note," and actually writing it down.
You're physically validating their question?
Exactly. You're telling them your input is valuable enough to be recorded. It makes the other person feel heard, even though you technically just dodged the question.
That is social strategy in action. Now, what about the hardest thing to do in business?
Saying no.
Saying no. You can't just shout no across the boardroom table. The sources gave us this really specific structure. I'd like to say thank you, but I'm going to have to turn your offer down.
It's the sandwich method. Gratitude, refusal, gratitude, but look closely at the grammar. I'm going to have to.
It's passive.
It's passive. It removes your personal desire from the equation. So instead of, I don't want to.
It's I have to.
Exactly. I don't want to is a personal rejection. It hurts. I'm going to have to turn this down. Implies that external forces, budget, timing, company policy are forcing your hand. It depersonalizes the rejection, which saves the relationship.
And if you actually want to do it, just not right now.
You ask for a rain check. I might have to take a rain check. It implies, I want to say yes, just not today. It keeps the door open.
We also saw some great phrases for managing deadlines. If someone is pushing you and you want to see if there's any wiggle room, you ask, is it set in stone?
That is a beautiful idiom. Stone is permanent. You can't change a statue by asking, is it set in stone? You're asking, is this flexible? Without sounding like you're lazy or trying to get out of work.
It just tests the rigidity of the plan. And on the flip side, if you need to end a conversation because you're swamped, you say, I'm on a deadline.
I'm on a deadline is the ultimate get-out-of-jail-free card. No one can argue with it. It signals that your time is currently more valuable than the conversation, but for a professional reason.
And we can't forget the shorthand, the alphabet soup. TBD, TBA, ETA.
To be decided, to be announced, an estimated time of arrival. Using these acronyms just signals I value speed and efficiency. It's the language of a fast-paced environment.
You sound like a Victorian novelist if you write the whole thing out.
Exactly. ETA says you're busy.
Okay, so that's how we manage time. But what about when things get tense? Let's open the second kit, the diplomat.
Ah, yes.
This is for navigating conflict and those sticky situations where one wrong word starts a fight.
This is where nuance does all the heavy lifting. The difference between keeping a relationship and ruining it often comes down to a single phrase.
And the sources highlighted a really interesting contrast here regarding honesty. We have, with all due respect, versus, to put it bluntly.
Oh, those are polar opposites in terms of strategy. With all due respect is a cushion. You are about to disagree, usually with a superior or a client, and you are pre-apologizing.
It's a signal.
It's a signal that says, I know my place, but I have to contradict you.
It's funny because whenever someone says, with all due respect, you know something disrespectful is about to come out.
Almost always. But to put it bluntly is different. That is a warning shot. You're preparing the listener for impact. You're saying, I am removing the social filter now because we are running out of time or patience.
So you'd use with all due respect with your boss.
And to put it bluntly, when a project is failing and everyone is just dancing around the issue,
Use it sparingly.
it's a nuclear option.
Another comparison I loved from the notes was about mistakes. It was an honest mistake versus it was a rookie mistake.
This is a fascinating self-defense psychology. It was an honest mistake claims moral innocence. You're saying, my intentions were good. The universe just conspired against me. It defends your character.
Whereas rookie mistake.
Rookie mistake admits to a lack of experience. A rookie is a beginner.
So isn't that worse? Admitting you're inexperienced?
Paradoxically, no. If a senior leader makes a typo and says, rookie mistake, it shows humility. It's self-deprecating. It says, I should have known better, but I'm human. It can actually make you more likable.
That's a great distinction. And sometimes you just need to stay out of the fight entirely. The phrase, it's not my place to say.
That is the boundary setter. It's a polite way of saying, I have an opinion, but I don't have the authority or the desire to get involved in this mess. It protects you from office politics.
Now, let's say the conflict is already happening. We need de-escalation. The sources gave us, let's put that aside or put our differences aside.
We call that parking an issue. If you're stuck on one point, say, the budget, and the meeting is stalled, you say, let's put the budget aside for a second and talk about the concept. It allows progress to continue.
So it's different from, let's just drop this.
Very different. Dropping it usually means ending the topic entirely because it's too volatile. Putting it aside is strategic.
Got it. And validation is key here too. Like there are two sides to every story, or I share your frustration.
Oh, I share your frustration is powerful. It creates an allyship. You aren't fighting against the person, you're standing with them against the problem. It diffuses anger almost instantly.
We have to touch on this specific telephone etiquette section in the diplomat kit, because nothing creates awkwardness like a conference call.
Absolutely. The phrase, just so you know you are on speakerphone, is not just information. It's a warning.
It's a legal disclaimer.
It is. It means be careful what you say, don't gossip, don't curse, because there are other people in the room you can't see.
Totally. And the classic, did we lose Ted? When the line goes dead.
It's soft language. We know Ted's internet probably died, but did we lose him? Implies it's the universe's fault, not Ted's incompetence. It saves face for Ted.
Okay, before we leave the diplomat section, I noticed a theme in the source material around the word fall. It seems like fall is the go-to verb for bad news.
It really is the verb of decline. You have my plan fell through, meaning it failed. We had a falling out, meaning a relationship break. The economic fallout, which refers to the consequences.
And here's where we fell short.
Fell short is critical for performance reviews. Failed is so binary. You pass or you fail. It's harsh. Fell short implies you were aiming for the target and just didn't quite reach it. It acknowledges the effort while critiquing the result.
Okay, let's pivot. We've managed time. We've dodged a fight. Now we want to look impressive. Let's open the go-getter kit.
I like it.
These are the phrases that make you sound competent, reliable, and management material.
This is the vocabulary of agency. The go-getter doesn't wait for things to happen. They make things happen.
I love that phrase, your management material. It's listed in the sources as high praise. But let's look at how a go-getter starts their day. They get a jump on the day.
Meaning starting early to gain an advantage. It's proactive, and once they're in the meeting, they don't dilly-dally. They might use a phrase like, without further ado, let me go ahead and get started.
Without further ado. It sounds so formal, almost theatrical, but it signals, I'm not wasting your time. And if the room is chaotic, the source suggests, can I have the floor, please?
That is taking control. The floor represents the right to speak. Asking for it, politely but firmly, shows leadership. You are effectively saying, everyone else stop talking, it's my turn.
And once you have the floor, you need to show you're organized. I noticed two phrases that feel very different. Square away and I'm on top of it.
Square away is one of my favorites. It has a military origin, squaring your kit, making sure everything is aligned. It implies a static state of completion. Is the report squared away? Implies it's packed, polished, and ready to ship.
Versus I'm on top of it.
That is active. It implies the situation is dynamic, maybe even a bit messy, but you are currently wrestling it into submission. Don't worry, boss, I'm on top of it. It comforts the listener.
The expert in the source material also pointed out a distinction in how we talk about planning. Let's talk strategy versus let's talk logistics.
This is the difference between the what and the how. Strategy is the mountain we want to climb. Logistics is how many ropes and water bottles we need.
Right.
A go-getter knows when to switch between the two. If the team is stuck in the weeds, they say, let's zoom out and talk strategy. If the ideas are too airy-fairy, they say, okay, let's talk logistics.
And when they're listening to someone else, they use phrases like care to elaborate or I saw that coming a mile away.
Care to elaborate is an invitation for more detail. It shows engagement. I saw that coming a mile away shows foresight. It frames the speaker as someone who understands cause and effect.
There was a really nuanced distinction in the sources regarding editing work, tweak versus polish.
Yes. This is huge for creative feedback. I think it'll look better if you tweak this, implies a minor structural change. A tweak is an adjustment to make a machine run. It implies something isn't working quite right yet.
And polish.
I'm just polishing it.
Yeah.
That implies the work is done, the structure is solid, and you're just making it shine. You wouldn't tweak a masterpiece, but you might polish it.
And of course, the go-getter knows how to give credit. Give yourself a pat on the back.
Or, way to go. It's important to note that I enjoyed your company is also listed here. It's professional, yet warm. It signals that business was conducted pleasantly.
It shifts the dynamic.
Right, from purely transactional to relational.
Which leads us perfectly into our final kit, the human element. Because we aren't robots. If you're just a time architect and a go-getter, you might be efficient, but you might also be insufferable.
Right, we need to build rapport. This is where real talk happens. This is where the corporate mask comes down a little bit.
The sources list phrases that show vulnerability like, I have a soft spot for.
That's a lovely phrase. I have a soft spot for my daughter. Or even, I have a soft spot for glazed donuts. Think about the imagery. A soft spot in your armor. It reveals a bias, but a gentle human one.
It says, I'm not purely logical. I have heart.
Precisely. And when someone gives you a compliment, you don't just stare at them awkwardly. You say, I have my moments.
Which is modest. It's a way of accepting praise without sounding arrogant. It suggests your success was maybe a little bit of luck, even if it wasn't.
And grounding yourself is important too. Born and raised.
Are you from Seoul?
Born and raised.
Yeah.
It establishes deep roots. It implies loyalty and history. It anchors you.
And let's be honest, sometimes work is just hard. The sources included. My brain is fried.
Admitting exhaustion can actually build trust. If you say, my brain is fried, you are being authentic. It invites the other person to drop their guard too. It signals, I'm working hard, just like you.
Now, for the casual interactions, the stuff that happens before and after the meeting. What are you in the mood for regarding food? Or let's go for a stroll.
Stroll is such a leisurely word choice. It's not a walk. A walk can be purposeful. A stroll implies relaxation and implies we have time to talk. And when you're coordinating, you use phrases like, give me a buzz and will do.
Give me a buzz. It's so retro, but it still works. And then there's the money question. I love this slang. What's the damage?
Yes. What's the damage? You're out for drinks with the team, the bill comes. Asking, how much is it, is transactional. Asking, what's the damage, turns the pain of paying into a shared joke.
It builds camaraderie. But sometimes you have to manage expectations. Don't get your hopes up.
That's the reality check. It protects the other person from disappointment. It's a kindness, really.
Finally, we have the idioms of fit, when things just click. Right up my alley.
Meaning it fits my tastes or skills perfectly. It's a spatial metaphor, again, like a bowling alley. It's right in my lane.
And get the hang of it.
That's the learning curve. Don't worry, you'll get the hang of it. It's encouraging. It implies that competence is just a matter of time.
And my favorite for when time flies. Before you know it.
It'll be over before you know it. It offers perspective. It suggests that the current struggle is temporary.
So we've gone from the stiffness of I'm willing and able to the warmth of I have a soft spot for this. It's a huge range.
It really is. And if we look at the source material as a whole, the big takeaway isn't just about vocabulary. It's about reading the room.
Right. It's knowing that sorry doesn't cut it is what you say when a mistake is huge, but let's put this behind us is what you say when you want to move on.
Exactly. The art isn't in the definition of the words. It's in the selection. Why do you choose one over the other? It's because you are trying to construct a specific social reality. One where you are competent, polite, but also human.
You're constantly curating your persona.
It is. And there's one final thought I want to leave you with from a phrase that popped up in the diplomat section. It's a phrase used in editing, actually. The phrase was, lose the sentence.
Lose this sentence.
Right.
Like delete it.
Yes. I think it'll look better if we lose this sentence. Think about that verb, lose. We usually lose keys or lose a game. It implies a negative, a loss.
Right.
But here, in high-level communication, to lose something is a positive action. It implies shedding weight, baggage.
That's interesting. We usually think of becoming better speakers as adding more words.
Often it's the opposite. It suggests that sometimes the best communication is what we don't say. We lose the extra words, the defensive explanations, the clutter. To lose something in writing or speech is often to gain clarity.
So the question to ask is,
as you go out and use these phrases, squaring things away, taking rain checks, ask yourself, what can I lose to make my message clearer?
that is a great place to leave it. Less baggage, more clarity.
Thanks for listening to this deep dive into the hidden strategies of English, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Catch you later.